Happy Inktober the 11th. It is wonderful to see all of your smiling faces today. That being said, you probably won't be smiling for very long if you keep watching this video. I'll be honest, I expect a lot of people to leave this video quickly because the root word for today, the prompt for today, is disgusting. So, my immediate thought was to draw a nose being picked. 'Cause that's disgusting, right? Yeah, so if you don't want to see a booger picker, then, just come back tomorrow, and, tomorrow's prompt is going to be slippery, so, I'll try to make sure that that's not gonna be quite as gross. I don't know what I'll draw tomorrow, but, hey, if the prompt is disgusting, I'm expecting that everybody who's doing Inktober is going to do something disgusting today. So, it'll be interesting to see how other people, what other people's take is on that prompt. I'm sure some people will take it into the political realm and either draw the Republican candidate or the Democratic candidate based on whichever party they think is disgusting. I'm sure, to be honest, I actually thought about drawing the Facebook logo because I'm quite disgusted with Facebook right now. And it's not so much the platform itself, so much as the things that people say and do on Facebook that, they just wouldn't do or wouldn't say if they were face to face with an actual human being. And, so anyway, I just decided, you know what? I'm done with all that garbage. Let's have some good old-fashioned disgust here today with an actual, a nose picker. Let's see, there's going to be a finger reaching up into that nose. I'm trying to get the orientation of the hand correct here. So, which hand, that would be, I guess the thumb would be on the outside, right? Right? If the fingers, okay, so the fingers are gonna be, wow, this is like a finger way up in there. If these are the knuckles. No, nobody's fingers are gonna be that far up their nose. Or maybe I stick with, I don't know. And so the knuckles of the other fingers are going to be visible here. The thumb is going to maybe overlap in front that away. No, I think the thumb is going to be more vertical. It's not going to go behind quite as much. I don't know. It's not like I spend a lot of time looking at people who are picking noses. I generally try to look away during those times because it's disgusting. But I'm trying to think. This would be this hand, right? Now, I've drawn it that far up into the nose. That's ridiculous. But basically, I've drawn this knuckle down to here, and then these two knuckles. And I guess the thumb is going to be lower, so I guess I should cut the thumb right there. I'm just trying to look at my hand as a reference. And okay. No, so it's more like it's to there and you wouldn't see the thumb, right? So if this line is this joint, then you see it to here and you see these knuckles, then you wouldn't see the thumb because the thumb would be down lower. Okay. Okay. That's more like it. That's more... Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to kind of change the shape of the nostril a little bit too. It's going to bulge it out a little. And let's see, there's going to be the top of the upper lip here. I'm not going to see the whole lip, but this, you will see at least the top of the upper lip from this perspective. And will we see the eyes at all? Maybe we'll see the corner, like the tear duct area there, but then on this side it would be like behind the number 11. So let's see. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. All right. Outlines. This is either going to turn out fabulous or terrifying, one way or the other. I can't wait to see it done. So I've done a lot of face drawing, portrait drawing, just for like classroom purposes lately. I have, over the last couple of years, developed a method that seems to work pretty darn well for teaching 5th graders how to draw portraits. Which I haven't added ink to that process. It's just been shading. But it seems to work pretty well. So that process is all about measuring, measuring proportions. It's all about measuring sizes and distances. And I think in this case, I think the eye actually should be a little further out, but whatever. Anyway, one of the things that I focus on in that sort of lesson or that instructional unit is a heavy influence on shading, which I'm obviously not going to be doing the same way with a pen. So I've got to consider how I'm going to be doing things a little differently with a pen, with ink, than I would if I was shading. And so one of the answers to that question is I could use hatching and cross-hatching and those kinds of methods that I've used in the past. Another answer to that could be focusing more on line work, outlines, contour lines, things of that nature. I think though that what I'm going to end up doing is the crosshatchy stuff. And so this is like the shadow of the nose being cast onto the face. And then up in that nostril, it is going to be casting a shadow onto the top of that finger. And shadow on one side of the finger. Shadows on the tips of those knuckles. I think I've distanced the eye incorrectly here, but there would be a little bit of shadow of the eye socket coming into play here. There might be some bags under the eye or some little folds of skin under the eye, depending on the person. Let's see. The tip of the nose is going to have a shadow on the underside here. I hope I'm not overdoing that. It's always hard for me to tell until I'm done and then be like, oh, oops, I overdid that there. But at the same time, it's also really easy to underdo it and not push the shadows far enough. Anyway, I think it'll be interesting to see what kinds of disgusting ideas other Inktober artists come up with. I have been following a couple of Inktober playlists over the last week and a half, and it's interesting because, like I mentioned earlier, I know there's some people who are going to hyper political with all of it, and I've just had to completely ignore that. It's like, really? Does everything have to be about Donald Trump and Joe Biden right now? I mean, I know that's kind of an important thing going on in our nation right now. But, and, you know, I totally get that visual art, not just visual art, but the arts in general, can be, you know, one of the main purposes of art throughout history has been to make statements, political statements, ideological statements, you know, whatever the case may be. And so I get it. There's a, you know, there's nothing wrong with the people who are going to be drawing Donald Trump for disgusting, or the people who are going to be drawing Joe Biden for disgusting, or Kamala Harris, or Mike Pence, or Nancy Pelosi, or, you know, Mitch McConnell, or any of those other guys or ladies, any of those people. You know, if that's what you think is disgusting, well, you know, who am I to tell you you're wrong? All right. I think that the whole process of, you know, politicking, I think the whole politicking process is disgusting. I think the idea, especially, you know, like we had these presidential debates and these vice presidential debates, and I know a lot of people said the vice presidential debate was more presidential than the presidential debate. And I'm like, well, really, was it? Like, I mean, to one extent, okay, yeah, they're following the rules more. But on the other side, it's like, what's a debate? Like, did Kamala Harris and Mike Pence actually debate anything? Or did they each just say what they wanted to say and then they were done? Right? Like, a debate is supposed to be, like, what does the word debate mean? The word debate means you get an exchange of ideas with the attempt of convincing other people of what your side of the story is. And I haven't seen that happen in a political debate in my lifetime. It's kind of ridiculous. I really like the idea. I really want to see. Just put the candidates in a room with nobody else, no moderator. Maybe a moderator to like chime in after 20 minutes and say, okay, you guys have had it out on this concept. Let's talk about the economy now. Or like, you know, maybe a moderator just to shift the focus, but just let the people talk and try to convince each other. This is where you're right. This is where you're wrong. And stop all the pandering. It's like every political candidate is just, it's like they're trying to say things that they know their base is gonna approve, and then they're trying to pander to the moderate undecided vote and say, oh, well, this is what the American people want. I'm like, no, actually, it's not what the American people want. What the moderate American people want is for you guys to shut up and let them do life the way they want to do life. That's what moderate Americans really, truthfully want. They want to be left the heck alone. And they want their Facebook feed back. They want their Facebook feed to be cat pictures and pictures of what their friends ate for dinner last night instead of memes about politicians. Anyway, hopefully this disgusting picture isn't quite as disgusting as the state of our political structure in America. I'm going to call that done. I messed up this eye. It's not in the right place. It should be over a little bit. But you know what? I don't know, maybe should I add in, usually there's like little lines that go down from the side of the nose towards the corner of the mouth. Add a little bit of that, I guess. I don't know. I'm not happy with the way this turned out, but that's okay because it's supposed to be disgusting. Disgusting. All right. Well, if you liked that, then that's great. I'm happy for you. If you didn't like that, just know that, maybe use these other pictures as a reference to know that maybe the rest of my Inktober won't be quite so gross. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.